All right, we're back. Okay. So, I just wanted to separate those two videos, these two videos, Will Demons Lie and Why, and Discernment, because I think Do Demons Lie should have been like just a really quick answer. Whereas Discernment goes into something a bit deeper here. This is like one of the things that I see missing a lot in the occulture, especially with people who are just starting out. They don't have enough experience to know if they're chatting with a demon or if it's something else, or if it's their higher self, or if they're just deluding themselves completely. I've seen all four instances of that. You see it on a daily basis, no matter where you go. So when we talk about demons lying, when a demon lies, it's not going to lie in any way that's going to hurt you. Usually when demons actually lie to you, it's more like not telling you the complete truth for a reason. Like, oh, well, yeah, one of the winning lottery numbers is 5, but you can, the other ones are these, just to kind of like prove a point, to drive a point home saying, yeah, you know what? This is bullshit. So, but usually demons are more, it's more like they're archaic, or they're just not forthcoming. They're not always blunt. Now, sometimes they're very damn blunt, and they'll come right out and say something. They'll say things you do not want to hear. Demons will not always agree with you. Learning discernment is very important, because a lot of people think that that little voice inside their head, like, the demons hate the same people you hate. The demons don't think you should do things you don't think you should do. The demons, always agree with you, and they're always against your enemies or people you don't like. That's not demons. Sorry. That's probably either your wishful thinking or your higher self. I don't know. I would like to think our higher selves aren't as, petty and vindictive. But when demons are telling you, oh, the person you don't like is cursing you, but that person like doesn't even know you exist, probably not a demon. Okay. I've had that happen to me a few times where I was allegedly the one cursing people. And I was like, I don't even know who the fuck you are. Why would I be cursing you? Or, somebody who doesn't like me very publicly. Oh, she's cursing me. Yeah, no. I don't waste my time on that sort of thing. So when it comes to discernment, really you need to do kind of a litmus test every time a demon tells you something. So you write it down and you set it aside, and then you stop and think, okay, so what about what this demon said do A, I already know, B, want to be true, C, is it harmful to me or anybody else? That's a big one. Demons will never ask you to harm yourself or anybody else. And again, if they're lying to you, as long as that lie is not harmful and there's like a purpose behind it, then it's probably demonic. There are other spirits. I call them others, because they're like negative energy feeders. And a lot of people who get into the occult actually attract negative energy feeders, especially if they have very turbulent emotions. I found people who are like in their teens to sometimes late 20s tend to have more experiences with negative energy feeders, because they're at their reproductive height. So their hormones are just going crazy. And when you have a lot of hormones and emotional turbulence brought on by those hormones, you tend to attract others. And it's that psychological turbulence that these entities actually feed off of. So a lot of people, when they're working with spirits, end up working with others and don't realize why. Like they'll say stuff like, oh, it started telling me, that I should kill myself, or telling me to do negative things, like to, burn down my house or whatever. When you start having stuff like that, that is not a demon. A demon's not going to tell you, oh, dude, go burn down your house. Are you kidding me? No. I mean, there would have to be a really damn good reason behind that. Demons don't do things without a purpose. It's kind of like in Christianity. Again, we're going back to the Bible fan fiction. A a lot of, the possession bullshit, like what makes you think a demon would actually possess someone just to cuss and masturbate and say, oh, fuck. I actually watched this show one time of this guy who was possessed, allegedly. I say allegedly because I'm pretty sure he was not possessed. Sitting there on the couch, rocking back and forth, going, God damn it. Gosh, damn, darn. And I'm like, really? A demon's going to like possess some asshole on his couch in the living room with a bunch of Christians around him so he can say gosh, goddamn, and gosh darn? Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, he couldn't even get out a fuck or a shit. What the hell? So that kind of stuff, it's like, yeah, okay, that's such bullshit. If a demon's going to possess anybody, they're going to have a reason to do it. They need your body for something, or they need your voice to share a message, something like that. They have to have a good reason. They're not just going to do it just because they can. That's ridiculous. It's stupid. So that's another way to figure out. I don't know. I've never really seen like never really run across an actual possession case that was legit. So, and I've done a lot of paranormal investigation in my life. I spent like my 20s and at least part of my 30s doing paranormal investigations. And yeah, a lot of that was just bullshit. It was mostly people who were emotionally unstable, maybe had some mental issues, who wanted attention. People with histrionic disorder often find themselves possessed. They also find themselves attacked by others quite a bit. So now I did find actual like instances where there was actual paranormal phenomena going on, and there was like an actual haunting or poltergeist activity. So I've seen that, but usually, again, it's always centered around people who are emotionally turbulent. So a lot of that emotional turbulence will bring on experiences like that, just because psychic turbulence is a big thing and people don't realize it. And that is where you have to use your own judgment to do cleansing, blocking, banishing, that sort of thing. And I'm not saying banishing demons. I'm saying banishing negative energy and things from your space that are not healthy to you and your mental state. People who are more emotionally turbulent need to do that more frequently, and people will often recommend before doing ritual work, after doing ritual work, and then regularly, whether you need it or not. Whereas some people much older who we know all this, how we react to certain things and how our emotional states play into our practice, we may only do like banishings and cleansings and stuff like that, a couple times a year, whether we need it or not, just out of habit. Just because you don't know. I mean, there's a buildup of negative psychic sludge for all of us at some point. So I do it twice a year, whether I need it or not. When I was younger, I had to do it much more often. But I'm also a woman of a certain age nowadays. I'm not, some young spring chicken. I'm postmenopausal. So, so I don't have all those turbulent emotional things going on. So that said, if you have questions, I know this is going to be another short video, but that's okay, because I want you to think about discernment. I want you to think about, the communication that you have had with the demonic. Because here's the thing, in online communities, oftentimes the answer that people have been giving a lot lately is like, when somebody asks a question is, well, just ask the demons. Just ask the demons. The problem is a lot of these people, it's kind of irresponsible to say that. A lot of these new people don't know how, okay, it's not that they don't know how to ask the demons, because anybody can ask the demonic anything they want. It's whether or not they're able to hear the answer. So, and a lot of times, again, what people are hearing is either a spirit that agrees with them completely 100% and thinks they're perfect and awesome, or they're getting negative things from some sort of other source. Now, I'm not saying that beginners can't have demonic communication. It's just that they need to learn how to figure out what's demonic communication, what's themselves, and what's not necessarily demonic, but maybe other. So it's learning that. It just takes time. And the only way, you can't read a book to learn this. This is one of those things where you have to practice and then learn from experience. And sometimes that experience includes a few hard knocks. You can't save people from that. We can try to save people, like, you know, those of us who write occult literature or blogs or whatever, we can try to save people by sharing with them our own experiences. But a lot of times, in order for people to really learn something and to truly understand it, they actually have to experience it for themselves. They actually have to do it. So, so it's great to just say, oh, we'll just ask the demons. But that is not, that can be kind of dangerous for someone who doesn't know the difference between a demon and whatever else is out there. So that said, I do have lists in a few of my books about discernment. There's a whole section on discernment in Necromantic Sacraments. And I know there was another book recently that I put out that had a whole list of discernment on it too. Demonic Possession, maybe? Or no, you know what? It may have been Lake of Fire, Ascension Practice. Speaking of Ascension Practice, Shaylin Gray and I are teaching a class in July. It's a demonolatry Ascension intensive class. It's 7 days where you get 2 videos a day, us taking you through Ascension practices and having discussions about discernment and things like that. I will beat discernment into your head, and I'm sorry. For those of you who are experienced enough to know discernment really well, great. For those who aren't, you're going to get, you'll get a lot of that feedback with regard to discernment, because that's a really important skill that you need to learn. So we are teaching a class on Ascension, and it's in July. If you go to demonolatry.org and you go to Sephira Alchemy and you kind of like drill down into classes, you can see how to sign up there. But I'll try to post that link in the comments later or in the description of this video. But anyway, as for discernment, anyway, that is just kind of one of those things that we all have to learn. And hopefully this video has been somewhat helpful, because demons aren't going to tell you to do anything. They're not going to tell you to hurt yourself, hurt somebody else, yada, yada, yada. They're not going to agree with you all the time. They're not going to think you're wonderful and perfect. If you've got a fault and they think there's something you need work on, they're going to come right out and tell you, and they're not going to be nice about it. Well, okay, some of them might be nice about it, but not all of them. Some of them are just tactless. They're just kind of like, yeah, you know what? You suck at this. And you're like, okay. All right. So, it is what it is. All right. That said, I'm going to let you guys go. If you have questions, post them in the comments. I will try to get back to you. Have a great rest of your June, and I will see you again in July. I do not have any conventions in July. Just a lot of prep. No, actually, well, I've got events, but not conventions. So next month, we're going to discuss good, evil, and duality. And that's it. I will see you guys later. Have a great day.